I see her.
You see her eating the show?
Yes.
She came in there?
Why did you come right here?
It's cut off right now.
Right here?
Okay.
Can't see my arm?
We're rolling.
I don't see it.
Oh, we're right.
Okay. Hallelujah.
Kick it.
All right, hallelujah. We're going to give all praises to the Most High because this is the day that the Most High has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Let us take some time to just focus on the Most High, no matter what else is going on around us in the world, even in our own minds. Let us just focus on the Most High at this time and just give Him all the praise and all the glory because He's worthy to be praised. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
That's right.
Oh, praise.
Your voice.
That song right there, is everybody aware where that song comes from and who's speaking in that song? And why? Tell us, Ema. Why is David, what is David telling us? You want us to? Okay, so David is asking the Most High to deliver him from his blood guiltiness because he knew that he was guilty of adultery and murder, shedding of innocent blood. So he had a double dose of sin that he was asking the Most High to deliver him. And even knowing what the prophecy had said, that what was told to him that that baby was going to die, he still was clinging to the Most High and worshiping the Most High. So for me, what I hear when I hear this Psalms, it makes me remember that even in our chastisement, we need to remember that the Most High is still sovereign and He's still faithful. And that we need to go before the Most High like David, because all of us deserve death, but He's given us life. And it's like mercy, it's grace, it's all these things that we don't deserve any of this. We don't deserve to be in this little sanctuary in this land of captivity and not be captive. We're allowed to worship Him and praise Him. And so that's what I hear. I hear just like we need to be in that place always, and where David was, at the Most High's feet, and just asking for forgiveness, because we all just deserve death. And this is mercy.
But wait, there's more. One more.
Y'all tired of praising already or what? Oh, okay, I didn't think so.
Let everything that has breath praise God. Praise God. Come on and let everything that has breath praise God. Praise God. Let everything that has breath, come on, come on, come on. Praise God. Let everything that has breath, praise God. Praise God. You ought to praise Him, Yahuwah. You ought to praise Him in His sanctuary. You ought to praise Him in the firmament of His power. Let everything that has breath, come on, come on, come on. Praise God in this sanctuary. Everything that has breath, yeah. Praise God. You ought to praise Him upon the loud sounding cymbal. You ought to praise Him upon the high sounding cymbal. Come on in. Praise Him with the timbrel and dance. You got to praise Him with the string instrument. Everything that has breath, come on, come on, praise God. Lift your voice and give Him praise. Everything that has breath, praise God. Praise God. Know that you should praise Him with the sound of the trumpet. Praise Him with the psaltery and harp. Praise Him for His mighty acts. Praise Him according to His excellent praise Him. Praise Him. Everything that has breath, come on, praise God. Let's give Him praise. Everything that has breath, praise God. Praise God. Everything that hath breath, praise Jah, praise Jah. Oh, let 'em know. Let 'em know we are Huda, we the glorious. These other nations, they can't hang it, no more war with us. And we are who are on our side, we are victorious. These other nations, they can't hang it, no more war with us. Let 'em know we are Huda, we the warriors. These other nations, they can't hang it, no more war with us. And we are who are on our side, we are victorious. These other nations, they can't hang it, no more war with us. They no more war with us. They no more war with us. These other nations, they can't hang it, no more war with us. And we are who are on our side, we are victorious. These other nations, they can't hang it, no more war with us. Everything that hath breath, praise everything that hath breath, Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam, Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam, Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam, Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam. Not our way, but Yahweh. 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 Not our way. Not our way, but Yahweh. Not our way, but Yahweh. Yada, Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam. Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam. Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam. Yada, Yahuwah, Jekebada, Benadam. Everything that hath breath, praise Jah, praise Jah, praise Jah. Everything that hath breath, praise Jah, praise Jah, praise Jah. Praise Jah, praise Jah, praise Jah, praise Jah, praise Jah, praise Jah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
But wait, there's more.
Praise
Yeah, so Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Y'all might still be tired from Sukkot last week. One more time. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, that sounds like we got a lot of people in here. I want to start off with a story. As obviously you can see by the title, we're going to be exploring words. Yesterday in the chat, I had asked for everybody to be considering just what words are. I just wanted you to think about it. Just have that on your mind as you came in today. But like I said, story time. For the last 3 years, I've had one word be at the forefront of my mind that I've had to battle with every day.
Food.
What?
Food? Okay.
I mean, it does start with an F, but no.
Faith.
I mean,
Fear.
who's that at first?
We all said
Food.
But no, it was fear. Any of y'all who know my kiddo, you know that he is very apprehensive. He goes, "You want me to do what?" Nah, I don't want to do that. He comes by honest, gets it from his father. But for the last 3 years, that has been a heavy word to contend with. What does the word fear mean to y'all?
Obedience.
Obedience, okay. That is one aspect of the word fear. What else we got?
reverence.
Reverence. Yes, sir.
Fear can have many meanings to people.
Give me one.
Well, a meaning for me is that fear is kind of like, what do you call it? It's kind of like a food chain, I guess you call it, where there's something, well, it's like the quote, there's always a bigger fish, kind of. So you are just a small fish, and maybe you'll create imaginary stuff, and you always think that there's a bigger fish, and you'll always feel like there's a bigger fish above, and you'll feel scared of that fish. You'll run away, you'll hide, and pretty much it's pretty much what you call a monster, kind of, or whenever you get
Scared.
Scared is like kind
That's
of,
your word for fear.
yes.
No, I know, like, thank you. No. Well, he actually illustrated the story I was going to tell. Thank you. Thank you a lot. So, the way, and one of my sisters would say the lack of the way my brain functions, is I tend to think about the bigger fish. But I don't throw the rod in to at least try to catch the small fish. I'm always, for the last 3 years, I've always been in this spot where it's like, what is going to happen? If I do this, this will go wrong. If I do this, this will go wrong. And I can tell you in 3 years, I never once thought, hey, if I do this, this might go right. This actually might go well. So I've honestly spent so many hours, lost opportunities, lost sleep, lost sanity, all because of a word. All because of one word. While we were out at Sukkot, this notion of words had, it was pressed heavy on me. Could be because I'm a scribe, so I'm just a word nerd. Could be, I couldn't tell you. It was just, while we were out at Sukkot, I kept wondering just about the power of words, period. The week prior to Sukkot, I was spending time with my family. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my little one. And we went out to eat, got some frozen yogurt and whatnot. And after we were done eating, my son, he was like, well, I want to go to the park, and I want to go swing on stuff, and I want to go run around and frolic. It's 100 degrees outside. You just had frozen yogurt. Adults, what do you expect to happen?
No.
Okay, so most parents, what do you say?
Yeah, let's go.
You go, no, right?
I'm taking pictures.
Again, lack of thought, or however you would like to call it. I was like, hey, you might want to wait. Nah, Daddy, I ate, I'm bored, I want to play. You might get sick though. Daddy, I want to go play. Okay, son, you're going to throw up. You're going to get sick, and you're going to be upset.
Speaking curses.
Let's go. Thank you for saying that. Let's go. He goes, nope, I don't want to now. I don't want to. I don't. Why? Well, Daddy, you just said I'm going to get sick. I'm going to throw up. No, you wanted to do this. Let's go. Get out your seat. Let's get out this car. Let's go run around. He ran around for 5 minutes crying. He was convinced that he was going to throw up. And it broke. Like, I watched that entire thing and went, I didn't tell him I hate him. I didn't tell him he was a bad child. I didn't say anything derogatory to my son. But he believed the word to which I spoke. And much like Aki was saying, we can choose to speak a blessing. We can choose to speak a curse over our children. So while we were at Sokotanat, I had him with me, and I just kept thinking about that time. I just kept thinking about that word and how, for someone who struggles with fear, I put a terrible amount of fear into him. So then it led to go, okay, am I watching my words everywhere? When I speak to your children, do I watch my words? When I speak to your mother, do I watch my words? I would love to say 100% of the time I do. I don't. And as I was saying this out, because honestly, what today is about isn't so much a lesson. It's just so much me just sharing what has been on my mind. And I got a couple of questions I just want to ask everybody else, because I want us to close out this year and move into the next year understanding that the words we speak to one another, understanding the power in the things that we say, and honestly the power in the things that we don't say. Let's get it moving.
It does that.
So it says, what are we here to do? So obviously this is our mantra. Can I get a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go?
We are learning to walk through obedience to the Torah together, building in Ahava and Anva, from the Ab to the Yilad, and Ruach, Yeshua, Ben Yahuwah.
What does that mean? Maury?
Okay, yes. When you say you're learning to walk through in obedience, right? Deuteronomy 10 comes to mind, 10:4. And then when it says the Torah together, right? Now you're talking about together. Now I'm thinking about I'm thinking about Shemot 19:5. When we was at the mountain, we said, "All that you say, we will do." We were together. Now when we get to the idea of Ahava, love, and Amba, meekness, I gotta think about my master, who tells us all the time that you have to have meekness. One, because you know that pride, the opposite of that is pride.
Yep.
And what comes before pride? Before
Fall,
pride.
before the fall.
So might as well walk in what we just not saying. Might as well. And like I said, with the master, I'm always considering love and telling us to love our brothers. You can't even. It's so much stuff we can talk about with our brothers. And then from the eye to the lie, just in my opinion, it's just family. It's family. It's consistently thinking. This is the entire house. The entire house. The spirit. Okay. Somebody got it. I'm joking. You know?
My niece. What does the word Ahava mean to you?
It means unconditional love. No matter what we go through, we'll have our family to always toward us. Love isn't just a feeling, it's also an action. Like for instance, with my mom, there's so many times where I didn't show, but she would still continue to love me regardless and put up with my insane ways. So yeah, that's what it means for me.
Emma. What does the word obedience mean to you?
No compromise.
I expect your husband to say that. That's cool. Can I get a different definition?
No compromise. Obedience is off the sacred Torah. That's what it is. It means that what Yahuwah has said, commanded, and He's spoken to us through Scripture, to the best of my ability.
What you got for me?
On obedience.
All of them. What about that? What does that mean to you? Those words on that screen, what does that mean to you?
I think it completes a full circle. When you talk about the Ruach, Yeshua being Yahuwah. You have a father and a son, right? The Word made flesh. That we're all learning to walk through obedience to Torah. Now that walk isn't a physical, or only a physical walk. It's a spiritual. And it's something that is a shared experience. A collective knowledge through experience with one another. Learning to obey together. And again, learning, you know what I mean? So as soon as you think you got it figured out, as soon as you think that you're being obedient, you're following Torah, you're in love, you're meek, you're reminded that there's something else. Because we learn from these children every Shabbat that we ain't got it figured out in all of our experience collective. We have that moment when one of our kids just, they say one line and it's a jaw dropper. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. Selah. And we dig back into some scripture and examine myself.
Yes, ma'am.
For me, like the whole thing, like yours was saying, it's like, so it's doing as I'm told, exactly as it's written, carefulness and with compassion to the others, holding hands, all of us together, making our way, and reading it together and carefully walking it out together, patiently, but doing to the best of our ability, as Stephen said, because we might not get it right, because we don't know it fully. So,
Anything you want to add before we move on?
You had said unconditional. I kind of think it's the opposite. I think it's absolutely conditional.
Absolutely.
The Most High said, if you do this, choose you this day, right? There's conditions that are involved in all these relationships and the covenants, right? And so unconditional can be very, very abstract, right? But He's given us conditions that when He says that He loves us, in those part of those conditions are those reproofs, that constant correction that we agree to. So when you asked Eva, and her answer was a reflection of her husband. Now, is it easy? Is it easy?
No.
It's always worse. Like you said, full circle. Because as soon as you think you've arrived, you're right, you got into first base and you can just rest for a second. Oh, well, hey, there's never a dull moment, right? There's never a dull moment. It's exciting to be involved. Lots of drama. Lots of stuff going on. At the drop of a dime, right?
Sit out for a minute.
The storm comes. That's right.
See what happens.
There's a storm coming, right? Because that's how He proves us. He's going to continue to prove us until we go home, right? And it's all for all of us. Because you said learning, that's a process.
Yes.
That's a process. Still learning. You think you've learned it all?
You learn nothing.
And you're home, you're foolish, right? That's called foolish.
Alright, I have a super serious question to ask. Super serious.
Super serious?
Super serious.
I'm out of it.
And we're gonna start with my other sister. The one who has the phone and her drum.
Okay.
What is your favorite word? Super serious.
That's, I don't know, it's a shot in the clouds, I don't know. Favorite word, you narrow it down.
A word you use often, a word that you understand and have to explain to people often.
I have to explain often? Ooh. I don't know, I guess we'll have to come back around. Let me hear somebody else's word. Maybe a phrase, but I don't know about it.
So you need an example.
Yes.
Okay, Ben. My favorite word is sesquipedalian.
Who?
What?
Sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian.
Oh, sesquipedalian. Oh, okay, now I get it.
Crystal clear.
Oh, now it makes sense. This happened.
Anybody want to take a shot at what that word means?
It means absolutely nothing.
Are you sure?
Oh wait, was it that word that Dad couldn't pronounce?
There's a couple words you'll follow. Anybody want to take a wild guess? You looked it up?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just
No.
You still
Read
want-
it.
Okay. For one, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. How you spell it is yes, it's SESQUIPEDALIAN. Which say that on the
It doesn't mean it's
yeah, polysyllabic. And literally, it says long. Is that what?
So that definition is actually a little obtuse. But
Long-winded.
it literally means a long word. It literally means a long word. So if it's a long word that means a long word.
It's just really, I can't even say it.
Sesquipedalian. So it's funny that y'all say that because it's because of that word that I learned sesquipedalian. So we were in school and I was like, huh? Supercalifragilistic. What? Why does a word exist that's so long and use all the letters of the alphabet? And I kid you not, my teacher goes, oh, it's a sesquipedalian. Miss Bays, we are in 3rd grade. What on earth that word mean? She goes, oh, it's a really cute word that means a really long word. I kid you not, I don't remember anything in 3rd grade other than how to write in cursive in that word.
Okay.
Now that you have your example, my sister, what is your favorite word?
I don't think I have a favorite word. I think the closest when I was in college, the word I said the most was idiot.
Why was that, my sister?
I'm not sure. I think there was such a culture difference. I've been in the country for 3 years. And, to me, I was like, and so much so that my roommates, when in the end, that's how they, because I said it in an accent, so they were like, oh, the Kara, idiots! That's how she says it. So it's just,
But it was a term of endearment.
Yeah, now so hopefully somebody else has something better.
Babe.
As idiot. Really has something better.
Wait, I have long word in French.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my question. Does it have to be in English?
No.
Okay, because I have a word.
What is it?
Ashitaru. It's Japanese. It means I
Ashitaru?
love you, and I have to explain to people that I am not cussing.
Yeah.
I am saying I love them.
Yep. Anybody else have a favorite word? What's up?
9.
Spell it.
D-A-N-I.
The number or the word
I
for
said
no in German?
DAD.
Oh, dad.
N-E-I-N.
That's N-E-I-N.
Ice cream.
Who's talking?
Texas. What's yours?
Dad.
Huh?
My favorite word is dad.
Why?
Because I like calling on my dad.
Why?
Because I very much like him a lot.
Why?
Because it's like,
I love him.
Oh, that's cute. Whatever your father is, I hope he's happy.
Wow.
you had a hand up over here.
Mind y'all, none of that had nothing to do with what I had planned. But
That was fun.
youngin,
My favorite word is trash.
yes it is.
Move on quickly. Move on quickly. What was that first compliment?
Say it again. Bomberos?
It just means ambulance in Spanish, but I know
What is it, bomberos?
Bomberos.
I thought it was firefighter.
Oh no, it is fire engine. That's what it is. Ambulance is the other. Yeah, it's fire engine.
Just sounds fun.
Ambulancia.
Right.
Ambulancia.
Yes. Bomberos.
I was on the west side for a long time.
I know that in Spanish. I know that in Spanish.
Ambulancia. Bombero.
What was the best compliment you've ever received? Do we need an example for this one? I do have one.
No, this was a word. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the best compliment I ever received was there's something different about you. There's something different. I can't put my finger on it.
When did I say
Can't put my finger on it. Yo, your hands up.
Yeah.
What's the best compliment you ever got, niece?
That's your stretching.
Yeah.
Well, I have two.
One.
Okay. Being called weird.
Oh, why
I didn't mean
did you consider that a compliment? And why is that the best one?
Well, to some people it may not necessarily be a compliment, but to me, being called weird means that I'm not like the person who called me weird. I like being different. Like, I like being set apart.
Alright, I think the lesson's over. We done. That was cold. I like that.
All the children.
Abby.
Best compliment I've ever had is being like my mom or dad. Personally, my mom.
I mean, feed long enough, they look like it, so and all you do is eat.
All right. Can you leave the child
Here she is eating.
Nephew.
Currently, the best compliment
Currently.
I've ever had.
I love y'all.
Currently, ever had.
Oxymoron. Is what my dad said.
I would say I like
Is when my dad was happy with me, because I was going to share a small slice of cake with my sisters. A small slice of cake with both my
Vegan
sisters.
cakes? Did you share the vegan cake?
Yeah. And then so he gave me a big slice.
To me, this was a compliment. It was a question someone asked me. They said, "Will you ever be normal?"
Oh.
And I find that amazingly just nice because.
Oh, stop. We're going to take a side street real quick since we're talking about words. The etymology, which means the study of words, the etymology of the word nice means stupid.
Right.
So are you sure that's the word you want to
Okay,
use?
I found that very sweet.
Sorry.
Very, very nice.
Yes.
I hope my husband's not gonna be mad. One day he had that study group that he was going to because he was talking to college. And then he called me and he said, I had a sense of accomplishment and it made me think of you. That's when I knew I was like, dang, I have to marry that guy.
Okay.
He's right now.
Yeah, he's searching. Everybody's looking at you.
Anybody else before I share mine? He can't top that.
No. So I get sometimes a comment that is not necessarily a compliment, but when somebody tells me, I never considered that, there's almost a sense of it is a compliment.
Awesome.
Because you're like, you know what I mean? Because I'm looking at things from different perspectives than the rest of, the direction everybody else is looking. When somebody says, I never considered it that way, or I never thought about it like that, that again, like Ariel was talking about being set apart.
Is your hand up or are you being funny? Okay, you mean what?
Well, when I used to go to school in person, I would take this as a compliment. I'm chubby.
Okay. Hey.
It means you're fed well.
Yeah. No.
You're blessed.
Yeah.
Okay, so the best compliment I've ever received is probably being called what do you call it? Like no, it's like being like way too being like electric, I guess you would call it. Energetic. Yes.
Yes, she is.
Well, pretty much what I get from that is like they're calling me someone who can be like really excited and who can, I guess, kind of bring joy to people whenever they're sad.
Wow.
It's true.
Now I have to say mine.
Okay,
Because you're
Aaliyah.
my child. That's what my compliment always is. People always say that I'm a light and that I bring joy. So it's just kind of like strange that he said that because I wasn't expecting for him to say that. But I do hear you have a lot of energy. Yeah.
Mine, I'd love for y'all to think that mine is like extra spiritual. It's not. It's just funny to me. So all throughout middle school, I had braces. And I wore glasses, and my braids weren't that long. So needless to say, I looked a little funny. So going into my freshman year of high school, I had quit wearing glasses. I had finally got my braces taken off, and back then Jet Set was real popular at Cameron, so like all the boys were wearing like pink all the time. So like I had like the tall tees, and I was wearing pink tall tees with Adidas with pink shoelaces. You couldn't tell me I ain't look good. And like to this day, like my favorite compliment. I was walking by, I was a freshman, and this senior girl walks by and she goes, you know what? I've seen you for the last 3 weeks, and you got the prettiest teeth I've ever seen in my life. So like, the comments stood out. The comments, I did that. No joke. I smiled everywhere. I smiled all the time. I was like, yeah, my mama paid all these money for these teeth. Y'all don't see them. Me and that girl ended up dating. And so she would write me letters all the time, like half the compliments would be about my teeth. Like when I tell y'all that this was the best compliment I ever got.
Your teeth, my dear.
Hey look, all I'm gonna say is that in the Song of Solomon they talk about having teeth white like milk. So that's all I'm gonna say.
That's true.
But here's the thing. I was 13, 14 when I first heard that. I am in my 30s. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm encouraged to hear how much words have played a positive effect in y'all's lives so far. I mean, we can even say the compliment that one of our sisters shared is with the man that is now her husband. The father to her children. Stop and think about that. I mean, we didn't even open no script yet, but just consider that. We haven't even talked about the words from our Creator yet, and look at the impact that words have. Okay. With that being said, what was the whoa?
I'm about to get it, boy.
Forgive me, y'all. It says, what was the worst comment you've ever received? Hold on, I just want to know. When I asked everybody to share something positive, hands didn't go up as fast as that just did. You don't know, wait. You laugh and you kiki, but I want everybody to think about that. I want everybody to really reflect on that. To really consider, as you think about this question, why is it so much easier for you to remember something negative than positive? I'm actually going to start with this one. Trying to consider my words here. There we go. So, for those of y'all who don't know, I grew up in South Carolina. When I first moved to Texas, the comment I used to make, they're like, hey man, where you from? Oh, I'm from the first state to secede from the Union. It is true. South Carolina is the first state to become a Confederate state. And being a young melanated man in a state like that, you tend to run into some interesting events. So in second grade, I was in the lunch line, getting something to eat. There was pizza day. Y'all forgive me, it was sausage pizza day. A little boy wasn't in the walk in. And this kid cut me in line. I cut back in front of him. And he calls me a freaking N-word. Use your imagination. I had never been called that by anybody who didn't look like me. So when people who look like me said it, I knew I didn't like it or understand it, but I knew it wasn't vitriol. When that little boy said it, I knew it was vitriol. So he said it. And when we got back to the classroom, I picked up a desk and I threw it at him.
The whole desk?
The entire desk.
Did he hit
Yes. It was one of those chair desk attachments. I picked it up and threw it at him.
Very thick.
That's how much those two words got me. I suspended from school for a couple of days. My mom was upset. But again, I was in second grade. I'm an adult. I can still see his face. What were some of the worst things you've heard in your life?
Oh, working at Walmart, you tend to meet a lot of interesting people. So this was back when I was a cashier. We bring up this customer. She was a wonderful person, and very much in her elder years. I think she meant it as a compliment, but it wasn't really. It was more of a backhand. She said, "You're one of the prettiest black girls I've ever seen." Or you're pretty for a black girl. And I was like, pretty for a dark skin girl.
Woo!
Okay. Well. Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
So.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Not you.
I don't remember how old I was, but I was probably like 8 or 9. And this woman had said something and made a comment about me being a little boy. And I said, I'm a girl. She goes, but I thought you were a beautiful girl. I mean, a beautiful little boy. That really bothered, it really bothered me Cause back then, you know, I wore the little fro and it was a short little fro and I mean, I was a cute little kid and you know, just like called me a little boy and I mean, that really bothered me. Really bothered me for a long time.
The worst thing anyone's ever said to me, not gonna say any names, pointing fingers, right? But you know who you are. It was a few years ago. I was playing with the ball. The ball hit my cousin, and then she told me that if the ball hit her again, she was gonna boil hot water and pour it on me.
Okay, that definitely was not
L'Oreal, put your head up.
Yes, ma'am.
The worst thing that anyone's ever said to me, because tweet, that was one of mine.
Yeah.
But if I would have to say the worst is being called mean.
What?
Yeah. I was called mean for the first time in my life as an adult and didn't really understand it because that word wasn't used towards me much as a child because I've always been very friendly. So I have mean moments, but like to just be mean, like to be like you're a mean person, like you're a mean girl, like that for me was like it messed me up and it had me like really searching to see what it was that was mean about me. I would even ask people like, am I mean? Am I mean? Am I mean? Like it gave me like a complex as an adult that I never had as a child. And so I was like, am I mean? Am I mean? And they're like, no. But because it was said by someone who I loved, it stuck.
So I think that I'm gonna tag along with that last thing you said, and the reason why this has been so heavy on my heart. I've taken stock on how we speak to one another. As an artist, we call it people watching. We watch for certain silhouettes, certain aesthetics, if you will. So what that entails, I mean, for the lack of a better way to put it, I watch like how people watch birds. I notice nuances. I look and okay, like this person has this kind of twitch, this person tends to do this person tends to do that. And as the Ruach had been moving in me to talk about words, I started paying attention to what we said. And I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. Because the majority of this time, we do speak well towards one another. But it's not perfect. We can say the correct words to one another, but our tones can be off-putting, which can lead to misunderstanding, which can lead to oughts, which can lead to unresolved issues, because you're going, well, that person speaks to me a certain way, so there's no way we can come to an understanding. And my concern has become real quick, everybody look at everybody else in here. Just real quick, just look at everybody else in here. I mean, I can say it like we back in church. I'm trying not to be weird. Turn to your neighbor and but there's a reason to that. No. I got you. Do you understand that everybody you looked at in this room is a child of the Most High. Do you realize that? Like, do you really understand what that means? If your boss were to come in here with their child, would you speak disrespectfully to that child? No. Unless you just absolutely hate your boss and you found a new job and you don't care anyway. But that child would get the respect because of the authority of his or her father. And my hope today is that when y'all leave this house, when you go home, when you interact with your family, that you consider your words, that you remind yourselves that you are speaking to the child of the being you call Abba, the Most High, the El Elyon. Let's keep going. Hold on. My slide is missing. Let's push it. So let's consider. Agree or disagree? Words are powerful and can shape our reality.
Yes.
Yes.
I have two scriptures that I just, as soon as I seen this daughter, is of course the power of life and death and with that tongue. And then
can someone pull that for me?
And also second witness is how that the Most High's words are sharper than a two-edged sword. Hebrews. So those are the two things.
Someone can pull each of those scripts up so we can read them.
That is real quick. 20 says, with the fruit of a man's mouth, his stomach will be satisfied. He will be satisfied with the product of his lips. Verse 21, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat of its fruit.
Did anybody find the second address?
Yeah.
All right. For anybody else checking, I think we're going to Hebrews.
Mac, other people haven't had any.
It's Hebrews 4:12.
Hebrews 4:12.
Says, for the word of Yahuwah is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged or double-edged sword, piercing into dividing asunder of soul and ruach, of the joint and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Intent of the heart?
Intents of the heart.
Out of curiosity, does anybody disagree with that statement? Anybody? Anybody want to play adversary and answer it from the disagreeing perspective?
How they say in the word, in the world, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. The world is a liar.
I'm rubbing your blue. You said
yes, Kim.
Well, I don't mean it as a disagreement. What I do mean it though is sometimes people can mean words to hurt you in one way, but it inspires you in another. I was told when I was pregnant at 15 that my life was over, that I might as well go apply for welfare, get my government housing, and live out my life like that. So those words inspired me to make sure that was not my life. So they shaped it, just not in the shape that they intended.
Anyone else? So as I've been reflecting, excuse me. So as I've been reflecting on this, again, for the last 3 years, I've been tussling with the word fear. And it would appear that the manifestation of fear in my life could be summed up in one physical item. It was a silver 4-door 2014 Toyota Camry Special Edition. I was always afraid something was going to go wrong. And chances are, something always was wrong with it. But after a while, I had to consider, am I the reason why my car is always broke outside of dumb stuff happening to it? But was I much like Maury was saying earlier, was I speaking curses over my life? My answer to this question was yes. I had allowed my fear, just even in its simplicity, because the situation that allowed me to have that car, I immediately went, I don't want it, I want to get something else. But my fear was, oh, well, my credit is shot, and what are people going to say? I'm just switching out cars for no reason, it ain't broke, so I might as well keep it. And name a reason, name a situation, name a fear, I lived in that. Fast forward to Monday. I was helping out a client of ours, so I was driving back from Elmendorf, and all I hear is boom! Car shuts off in the middle of 410. I'm talking like cut, not like it flickered, like the light flickered, and it turned off. So I'm sitting there, like, mind you, y'all forgive me, I got a lead foot. So I'm sitting here like, okay, so by the time this gets to like creeping speed, I have to figure out what am I going to do? Fear sets in. Somebody's going to hit me. Did I pay my insurance? Are they going to grade me? And I'm panic mode. Mind you, the only thing that is happening is that this car is turned off. All I got to do is pull over to the side of the road, call somebody. I'm fine. But I chose to walk in the word fear. But Monday was the last day for that. Pull over to the side of the road. Get it working just good enough to where I feel safe, right? And I'm going to praise the Most High. I don't have my or someone else's children with me. It's just me. So once I get it up and running again, I'm literally going, why am I afraid? Why am I scared? I hate this car. I want something different. I want to be able to use something for my family. Why am I afraid to make this change? What is about this stupid word that keeps me stuck? And as soon as I had that thought, I went, you know what, I'm done. I drove to the dealership where I got it from, and I said, hey, look, I'm tired of spending money on this. Buy it from me. How much will you take it for? And so he goes off, he goes, well, you know, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and yeah. Dude, I don't care. I don't want it. Just, he's like, I give you, X amount for it. Okay, cool. How long do I have to think about that? He's like, till next Monday. Bet. Leave. Go to a used lot. I had already been looking at cars for a while, but again, afraid. Afraid to pull that trigger. Afraid to trust the Most High. Go to the lot. Hey, I want to drive that one. So this is a 20-year-old truck. I want to drive that. Sir, you just drove up in a 2014. You go from a 2014 to two. Sir! I'm agitated. Tired of being afraid. I'm going to drive this truck. So I go drive it, and I love it. Call Ab. Call our other elder. Called Amore. And I was expecting everybody to go, oh, have patience, we'll wait, we'll do such and such. One elder was like, nah, wait till I get back, let's wrap, because that's just who he is. The other elder, what'd your brother say? Here, he said this. And one of the Mores went, did you do your research? I did. Do you have any questions? No. Is there anything wrong with it? This, that, and the third. Will they fix it? Yeah, they said they will. Will selling your car covering the cost of this car you're trying to get? Yeah. Sound like me, you need to go do it. All right. Fear sets it again. Mind you, I have purchased 3 vehicles in my life. The first one my dad helped me with. The second one was a gift to my son's mother. And this one had no input whatsoever. I always had, somebody either picked it for me or somebody wanted it, so I got it. This is the first one. This is just for me. But I mean, like, fear for me is like that one ex that check up on you on social media like once every 6 months just to see what your life like. And you're like, why are you still here? Go about your life. And so, I sat for a day or two. I fasted. Whatever negative word is hovering over you, settled in your spirit, it doesn't have to be there. But in order to understand why that word is hovering over you, what does the word mean? Take a stab at that for me. Define the word.
Hebrew is Dabar, right?
In Hebrew is Dabar. Does anybody have a definition for the word?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, word, it means a single, distinct, meaningful element of speech or writing, used with others or sometimes alone, to form a sentence and typically shown with a space on either side when written or printed. And then the second is, this is the noun version. And then it says a command, password, or signal. And the verb, it says choose and use particular words in order to say or write something. So it's an expression that can be made. That's what the dictionary says a word is.
Yes, Iman.
I would say a component of communication.
Can you repeat that for me?
A component of communication.
Aki, can you read the last 2 bullets on the screen, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where it says Old English right there?
Yep. So you're going to be reading. I got it.
Sorry.
So these last 2 bullets are the etymology of the word. So in the Old English, word, speech, talk, utterance, sentence, statement, use a part word from the Proto-Germanic word of it. The part that really stuck out to this, because y'all can read it, maybe children. The second part, where it says the meaning promise. I wish I could, it's kind of funny, I wish I could put into words what that meant when I read it, but I find myself having a hard time. What?
I'm thinking, as soon as I seen promise, I was like kind of blown because Yahweh Mashiach was the word, and he was also the representation, I guess, of the promise that was mediating between us and the Most High. So it's like the word, he is the word, and he is the promise, and like, so it's just that. That's what my mind.
I would say she found a way to put my thoughts in the words. Go ahead, sis.
I would say, to land back off of Amadia, I would say that when I saw promise, it made me think about when you say, I'm keeping my word. And like how in Leviticus, where it says you vow a vow, right? And you have to keep it. So that word in itself, just mark my word. I'm keeping my word.
Like, that's what I heard when I saw a promise. Like, I'm gonna keep my word.
Maury, that's hiding from me. Give me something.
Without any word
Yeah.
and bow. Did you live by 30?
Say again?
I said, did you live by 30?
Can you read that for me?
Oh, yeah, he said a vow.
Oh, a vow. All of them
live
live
by
by
30.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
ain't gotta read that.
We ain't about to do all that. But you get the point, though. You get the point. Yeah. That's pretty good.
And earlier, I answered this one, so that the Hebrew word for word is Dabar. Maya Koti, can you break that down for me?
So, what I would say is, because we have the Dalit, and we have the Beit, we have the Resh. And the Dalit is the doorway or the entrance. So what I was thinking was, it's what's inside, or it's, I actually wrote this down, it's somewhere. But basically, since the Dalit is
Is it what you wrote in Telegram?
Yeah, hold on. I don't think I didn't put it in Telegram, but what I'll do is I'll just kind of like paraphrase like what I was saying. But basically, because the Dalit is the doorway or the entrance or the pathway, I was thinking that it's like to what goes out from the inside to what is first, or a person, because the rest can be a person or what's most important or what's the highest.
Yep.
So I was thinking that whenever we speak or we say something, that when you say, okay, it's what goes out, it's a movement, actually a movement that comes out from what is inside to what is most important for a person. So where I got that from, to back it up, is because to be inside, like the house, inside, the center, amid. But where I got that from is I thought about the scripture that I believe it's in Matthew 21, where the Mashiach said that he talks about the vipers, and he says, out of the mouth, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And I was like, ooh, so what is inside of you is what comes out, and that's our speech, that's Dabar. So I said in the Hebrew, because we're pictorial, I was like, that looks right to me, a movement of something coming out of you from the inside to a person or to what's most important.
So my transliteration of it was the importance of what you bring forth from you, speaking to something. And again, like just in my studies, I was trying to, what I'm trying to understand, like my goal ultimately is that, sis, if I'm speaking to you, I know exactly what words to say. Yeah. I know how to use them so that you will understand. Aki, when I'm frustrated with you, but I'm trying to be humble, trying to address my own pride and still speak to you with the respect and honor that you deserve as my brother. I want to know how to do that. When I want to get to know someone better, I want to know what questions I can ask. So it's like, hey, like, I don't know you. We're going to be in the kingdom together. Let's know one another.
To answer your question, just use a knife hand. Be direct.
We'll speak on body language next week. But no, it's my personal goal to learn how to speak to everybody in accordance to what they need. So that when I speak to you, I build you up according to what you need. Now, that's not to say that I'm always going to speak kind words. I may have to speak harshly. But as I get to know you, as I gain an understanding, like, hey, don't say, my niece, you know, for a dark-skinned girl, you very pretty. You don't like that. That is not a compliment. So take my note. Instead, you look very beautiful today. I'm very happy I got to see you sing beautifully today. It is my goal to be able to have that understanding with everyone in here. And it is my hope that everyone leaves today with at least the thought, can I do that? Let's keep going. Can we actually see all of it?
Well, it's a little piece cut off the bottom.
The last one ain't the right answer anyway, so we good. But the question is, how are we supposed to use our words? Everybody get a chance to read, and I'm curious to know what you guys think the right answer is.
Can it be more than one answer?
You know what? I was going over that with one of the elders this morning, and prior to that conversation, I would have said yes, there's more than one answer. Currently, I'm not sure.
I'm D. I'm team D.
Okay, so let's. Does anybody think it's A or B?
No.
Show of hands. How many people think it's C? Show of hands. 1, 2, hey, if you think it is, put your hand up high, ain't no shame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who thinks it's D?
Might just add love to it.
That's what I was thinking.
Aki, can you explain why you chose what you chose?
Well, the problem with D is that it doesn't tell you whether or not you're doing it intentionally. But with words, you can unintentionally curse, just as your first example was. That's what's missing. That little piece there. Otherwise, when we love, for Yah, it's not through our words, it's through our obedience.
I was starting to think but then I remember the scripture of blessings and curses out the same mouth. So then I chose C because of that. Because it's tough because like songs, right? The songs is most I get them, you know? Like help me and get them, right? So that's curses, but at the same time though, we have to, like what we put out though, between the Most High and us is different than what we put out, outward into the world. And but then I can't help but to think of that scripture of the blessings and curses out the same mouth. So then I had to go with C.
Can we get what's the address on that one? I can't recall that real quick.
Talking about blessings and curses coming out of the same mouth. You have to go back and we got to look at the context, because he's talking about amongst your brethren. He's not talking about the Ku Klux Klan comes and hangs your child.
Righteous recompense.
You can say, yeah, there's a time for everything.
We sing a song, O Yah Elohim of vengeance. Yahuwah Sabaoth.
But that vengeance is Elohim.
But you're cursing, when it says, for me, when I see D and I see cursing, it's according to his word. Because if you curse according to your word, according to your liking, that's totally different. But if you say, the scripture is what it says, we read the Psalms all the time, Yah, break them into pieces, the wicked. These things, we're speaking these things into someone that's like, oh, that's a curse, right? The Mashiach spoke many blessings, but he also cursed the fig tree.
That's right.
So we have to remember the context of how he's asking us to use these blessings and these cursing.
He said there's going to be blood up to the horse's bridle. That ain't no blessing.
That ain't no blessing.
That's what I wanted to say.
So given the choice, I would have chose C and D and rewrote it.
He said
It's just-
one.
I know. I said given the choice, you know, I would.
That's
But
true.
Hold on,
Talk about your brethren.
I'm curious. What do you think and why?
For this one, how are we supposed to use our words? I gotta first make sure I understand the question, right? And so when you say we, you're talking about just us, or?
It's open.
Okay, well then I'm gonna take it for just my life, we, us, right now in this reality, according to, I would say C, if anything, because the curse, I don't know enough right now in scripture where it actually says we're good to go and curse people. Like I don't.
But that's not what it says. It says not you curse it. It says according to Yahuwah's word. It doesn't say your curse.
To encourage, exhort, bless, curse, express oneself as according to Yahuwah's word. So how are we supposed to use our words according to
Because
Yahuwah's
Yahuwah
word?
said there's righteous recompense. There's righteous payback coming. And that's not good. That's not a good, it's not a blessing.
So
it's a curse.
So in reminding someone that's speaking to you, say out of anger or something like that, that the words you speak may come back to you if you don't change how you're not following Torah. That is a way that could be a curse. It's not one that you're placing, but it's a reminder that Torah's words say you should be doing differently.
Also, the word blessing, actually, barak, actually means to curse and to bless. It has a dual meaning. So, yes, it actually has a dual meaning.
Hence why it's in there the way it's in there.
Exactly.
I think.
Really quick, that was like I said, you wanted to give the context with the address.
Well, the address, what she brought out, what Amaya brought out. It's very interesting because now one of the people is going to change. Hebrews 3:10 is where we're going, but I'm going to get the context at 9. Yeah, it says, with, verse 9, with it we bless, it's talking about, I got started.
Hebrews 3?
James, excuse me, Yaakov. Yaakov 3. James 3. But no one can tame the tongue.
No one.
It is a restless evil and full of deadly poison. Here we go, verse 9. With it we bless Adonai our Father, Yahuwah our Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the likeness of Elohim.
There you go.
Verse 10, from the same mouth come both blessings and cursings. My brethren, these things are not be this way. Verse 11, does a fountain send out from the same opening both fresh and bitter water? This question, yeah. Anybody? Me too. Go ahead.
What do you think?
So I'm glad you brought that out because earlier you had said out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? So, but now we have the tongue, and they're two separate things. Because there's also in Ecclesiastes where it says a person can slip with their speech, but not in their heart, right? So we can't always assume that because a person says something, or when we say something, or when I say something, that it's coming from my heart. It just could be my tongue, because both are untamable, right? Hearts deceitfully wicked above all things, and we just put it on the tongue, right? So, no, I think there isn't an appropriate time to curse some things in life.
Is or is not?
Is, absolutely.
If you don't mind, and I definitely want to come back to this, I think you want to follow me up on this. It's super quick. Just going over, Miss I, was it, how you say accent in Hebrew? Masayim, right? It was a part where where it's, I think it's like around 15, where the disciples, we had Paul, I think man, Barnabas was walking, doing their thing in one of these little cities, and this woman, this is after they meet Lydia, a person that made purple, right, from Tigris. So they're walking and doing their thing. Now this woman who's just kind of like a finder comes out of
Yes.
nowhere and then starts saying, oh, these men are the Most High.
Exactly.
These men are the Most High. And then, you know, Paul was like, all right, cool, whatever, right? Kept going. But then she kept still saying it.
Yeah.
These men are the Most High, the Most High. And he was like, he turned around and was like, actually, told that evil spirit
Yes.
to get out of
There
that
you
woman.
go.
And right then and there, the evil spirit
Yeah.
left. Now, the funny thing is, I'm wondering, was she blessing them or was she cursing?
So,
By giving them compliments.
I hope it ties into what so your writings, when you go into the writings, when Melech Dawid was fleeing from his son, what was his name? But you had a man who would come up to Dawid and his mighty men, and he sat there and he cursed him and cursed him and cursed him. And all of Dawid's men was like, yo, do you hear what he's saying to you? And he was like, nah, that might come from the Most High. So leave that man alone. Y'all will take care of it. And y'all took care of it. He ended up dying for the very words he spoke. My sister.
I was gonna say, if we follow Mashiach's example, and to tie again to what James was saying, we didn't see Mashiach curse any person, right? So to answer the question, how are we supposed to use our words against each other? You know, like Mashiach cursed that tree because he was like, you're supposed to be a good fruit, right? But you're not doing anything, so you're not gonna bear any more figs, the fig tree. And then we see Yaakov saying, you know, the point he was, the point James was making is that out of our mouth we are blessing Yah, but then you turn around and curse each other with that same mouth, and that ought to not be so.
Exactly.
So to answer the question, how are we supposed to talk to one another, right? Because Mashiach, what does Mashiach say? Mashiach said, I have not come to judge you. The word will do its work. The very words which I speak, which is, you know, the word Torah, that will condemn you one way or another. You will be cursed all on your own because of the word, as we say in Deuteronomy 28. But he's like, I'm not doing anything. The word, like he says in one of the scriptures, cannot be changed. It is what it is. But us, how are we supposed to speak to one another? Like James was saying, we ought not to use our word to each other to curse, because out of that same mouth, we bless the Most High, and how we're supposed to turn around and curse each other with it. To answer the specific question to say in context, if we go to the word, we are not to use that to curse each other.
One another.
One another, thank you.
One another.
One another.
Israel only?
No.
Or all mankind?
It's not all mankind, because we have to use it in context. We have to use it in context. Even when Amaziah was reading that, just to go back and answer that question, she was calling them out and he told her to stop it, because she's trying to get them killed. So that's like saying, these are the Hebrews right here, the Hebrews. Yeah. And the cops are like, we're trying to look for these black identity, identity people, whatever.
Yeah, you fit the description.
Exactly, you fit the description. So she was doing that, and he told her stop, because that's what she was doing. So we have to see things in context as to how we're supposed to use these words. But if you're specifically saying towards one another, of course, like, you bless those that curse you.
So, first and foremost, I didn't think, when I wrote that, I'm encouraged. That was awesome. Yeah, so I actually answered C. I actually wrote C to be the answer. Everything that y'all brought up was what I was talking about with Elder. So, kind of keep it pushing. Yeah, no.
Hey, did Eva finish your point? I don't think Eva finished her point. Did you?
Did you finish your point?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
So the slides we skipped over, basically just walking that out. So really quick, I'm gonna just read a couple examples of how I felt, how we should speak to one another, and the mindset to which we wanna speak. So I'm gonna go through these really quick. Also, the slides are in the chat, so if you want to collect your notes and whatnot, it's already in there for you. So Psalms 15, Yahuwah, who shall abide in your tabernacle? Who shall dwell in your holy hill? He that walks uprightly and works righteousness and speaks the truth in his heart. So the reason that verse 2 stuck out just because, for the simplicity of that, before the word comes out of your mouth, it has to come out of your heart. We're talking about from the wellspring of the heart. So that spoke out to me. And so for me, it was just a matter of, when I'm considering my brother, when I'm considering my sister, my whatever, is the truth here in my heart, in my ruach? Am I looking to the example of Mashiach, like how Marshall says all the time, and having that obedience to his example? That's what stuck out about this. Psalms 34, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking God. In other words, God was like just unpleasantness. Tehilliym 35, and my tongue shall speak of your righteousness and of your praise all day long. So, simply put, as we're going about our time, do we represent different aspects of these verses? Hear this, all you people, give ear, all you inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. As I was moving along, my contention was, anything that I say to anybody in here, am I doing these things first? Because if I'm doing these things, you never have to worry about, do I love you in my words? You never have to worry about, is he being disrespectful? Because if I am doing these things, all of that will come through. And it's my encouragement that we all begin to look and do the same. We, again, more or less, y'all was...
It was very well and we covered it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so I had some studies this morning. Funny about Dabar in itself. And so it's amazing that my
twins.
Yeah, it's flowing in the vein. But in regards to speaking to each other, what we ran across in the study was, if you knew it is a curse, would you still say it unto me? I was recently, during this feast that I wasn't with y'all,
You're excused.
I was recently informed, and I don't know the validity of the truth of it, but that good morning is not actually a phrase of endearment or of greeting. Right. That in and of itself, it is a curse. And when that was brought out to me, I was astonished, because I don't do YouTube, I don't do none of that. So this was the first time I'm hearing. And they were like, oh yeah, a whole bunch of words are like that within the English language. And so I was like, are you serious? So as I was studying this out, the Ruach dropped on me something. What if it just didn't start with the English language? What if Babylon has been setting up this system because Balaam wasn't able to curse what the Most High blessed? And so Balaam said, in order for you to curse them, you must get them to curse themselves. Yeah. To speak cursing unto one another, even if it is unbeknownst. So, I was researching this, and the Ruach dropped in my spirit, Shabbat Shalom. We say it all the time, do we not? Yeah. Shabbat Shalom. Where does that come from? Does anybody know the origin, or can anybody find it in the scriptures? I researched it, and can I? Yes. Go ahead. You got that?
Let's take that up next week. What?
That's the
I love y'all. I got a lot more to go. It's late. Y'all have encouraged me. We gonna rap, but shalom. let's go ahead and take a little cat. We're gonna cut it for tonight. We'll pick this back up next week. But in the parts that we've gone over,